to the comic shop. I'll let you read about Cyclops. I'll have you spending all you got. Jawbreakers is looking hot, Zach.
All right, here we go. Left Hand Legit, back in the house, ready to talk to you about more incredible comics featuring Cable that move the needle. Now, we've been going through the origin of Cable, and you thought it was over. It's not over. It's not even close to over. We have to go back in time a little bit here. We have to go all the way back to the spring of 1991 to talk about these comic books right here. X Factor number 66, number 67, and number 68. What is this going to do for us? Well, it's going to tell us all about Baby Cable. That's what it's going to do for us. And we're going to get into it. This is back when comic books only cost $1. Imagine that. A full color comic book for only $1. If you want a deal like that nowadays, be hard pressed to find it. Believe it or not, Marvel Comics is actually reprinting classic stories from their library and selling them for only $1. But if you want new stories, there's only one place you're going to find it for under $2, and that's with Alterna Comics. They are offering comic books on beautiful, glorious newsprint for only $1.50. All new original tales. Check it out, Alterna Comics. But right now, we're going to check out this. It's X Factor number 66. Beware the wrath of Apocalypse. So what does it all mean? Well, basically, I'm going to just kind of go through... Double Dragon 2. Twice the characters, 3 times the action. This is from Acclaim. Not Tattoo. Or Taito, as some people demand I say. So basically, Ship, which is the alien, ship that X Factor fights out of, has gone crazy and is just turned on the community it lives in and is basically shooting out these nodes that are like just destroying everything that gets in their way, like just shooting it right through another skyscraper. Pretty exciting. And everybody's having to turn out to fight this, of course. Even the Ninja Turtles turn out, but they're not trying to save New York. They're just trying to hawk some awesome Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cereal featuring new pizza-shaped marshmallows. But we want to get really to where we're going here. And that is a story about Cable, isn't it? See, here we have Cable. Here we have the baby, such a pretty lad, and so innocent of a sod. Such infinite potential, according to the boss. Called it straight and clear hard drive, using Ship's systems that you've seized control of, the enclosed blah 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 blah. So they're gonna steal the baby, and this is Askani. I don't know how to describe her. She came from the future to try to save Baby Cable, who's in this, this football, this metallic football here. As you can see, he's in there. Cute little guy. This is the cutest they've ever drawn him. And everything else, he looks like a kind of just like a weirdo little kid. Kind of too Cupidish for me. Nolan signs. Nolan Ryan was one of the greatest baseball players of all time. And in this Upper Deck 91 box, you might get lucky to get one of 2,500 exciting Nolan Ryan autographs. Pretty awesome. So Askani is going to save... Let's go back here, though. But Askani is just going to try to save this baby and bring him into the future. Excuse me. I will actually read to you what it says. Unhand him, creature. Apocalypse will never claim him. Not as a child, nor as a growing man. For now and always, the chosen will live free. Kind of read that stupidly. I'm not treating this with enough respect. The better to lead his people to theirs. Praise the light. I arrived in time. Our rec scans of this time are dangerously scattered. We knew you were at hazard, but not the precise nature until I psych-waved in. Should have realized it'd be Apocalypse. He wants to savage you the way he did your father, the way he did our father. Excuse me. I wish I had power to spare for more than a mind tag. So much you need to know that I wish I could tell you. These are the last moments of your childhood, the end of innocence. Eh? And so Askani's come from the future to save the baby. But, you know, then, like, a bad chick shows up and they fight and they steal the baby back. And they're running and Apocalypse is absolutely loving it. And all the X-Men are showing up to help with X-Factor. And back then, X-Factor was being led by Cyclops. I don't want to say he left the X-Men. They expanded out and started X-Factor. And this is where he was before he'd be called back home in Jim Lee's X-Men. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he gets called back home. Maybe I'm wrong. It's been so long since I've read all of that. So they're gonna steal the baby. Pay no mind. There's a police officer who gets on the ship. I'm avoiding everything that has to do with X-Factor here and just sticking with our little guy, Cable. Oh, there he is, Cobra Commander. You're not the only one waiting for G.I. Joe. And another 1-900 number. Help save Mary Jane and cost your parents $1.75 for the first minute, 95 cents each additional minute. Maximum call is 3 minutes. You could play and win prizes. Wonder if anybody ever won a prize. Be interesting to find out. So, yeah, the ship like shoots itself up into space and then explodes itself because it's the only way to stop Apocalypse, and all of the X-Factor are still on here. But then we back to Askani. No! Scanai establishes the vessel as 150,000 kilometers distance. Detonation force in the gigaton range, creating a blast core better than 200 kilometers in diameter, hotter than the heart of the sun. Destruction is absolute. There was no mention of this event in the rec scans. Merciful Bright Lady, has my intervention in this node somehow caused the death of the family? I have no way of knowing, and only one means of atonement. The Chosen remains in the clutches of Apocalypse. My mission is to save him. And that I swear I shall do, little brother. Whatever the cost. Next, lunar impact. So, keep note of the Bright Lady. She's talking about the merciful Bright Lady, which, you know, we would assume is that a god that she prays to? What is that? She keeps referring to the Chosen, the baby, as the Chosen, and calls him little brother, but, you know, spoiler alert, they're not related, as far as I know. And this one kind of has the same file type log entry like we saw in the pages of X-Force number 1. I think that's kind of cool. It's Bobby Drake, Iceman. And we get Hank McCoy, the Beast. We got some exchanges here, letters to the editor. But let's just keep moving right into it. Okay. X-Factor number 67. Very excited for this one. So basically out floating in space, you know, no, everyone's gonna die, but all of a sudden, like, a spaceship shows up right before they die, and it sucks them in, and it's Black Bolt and the Inhumans. Save all the X-Men, save the X-Factor, saving everybody in here. Meanwhile, file, Askani, beginnings, side reel scan time, slide link? Side reel scan time, slide link. Whatever that means. Positive arc, top of the tower, abyss behind, worse ahead. Yeah, okay. Seems awfully melodramatic to say. You're almost our last hope. It's the truth, nonetheless, brothers. But it's almost like tradition. Rip-roaring from the present to save the future by changing the past. Makes my skull ache, Askani, just thinking about it. Can't imagine how you keep it straight. Boak's ready when you are. Remember the name Boak. So we have Bright Lady, Askani, Boak. I was born ready, don't you know? I don't know what's up with the Michigander talk, or excuse me, the Minnesotan talk. We've achieved Nexus Lock on the Chosen at the most critical of junctures. And here's Cyborg? No? Deathlock? That's Deathlock? No, it's not. It's not either of them. We know almost nothing of the specifics of his predicament, Askani. You'll pretty much have to improvise. Boak, it's my plan, remember? Please trust me to do it right. So this is Boak. Makes you wonder who this person is we never see again. Never a doubt. It's just, this is a one-way ticket, Askani. If I succeed, this entire node will be overturned, everything up for grabs. No foretelling on how you'll come out, or even if. But failure, brothers? See what that means? Look out the window. Dead either path. Rather have it make a difference. Maybe make things better. A line in the sand. The strategic and diplomatic simulation of Desert Shield and Desert Storm. So, Desert Shield and Desert Storm were the first Iraq war you may have heard about there in the early 90s. And apparently this TSR got right on board with this bad boy and started a game. There's Saudi Arabia, there's Iraq, there's Syria, Jordan. Yeah, you're gonna, well, I guess it's risk, but in the desert of Iraq. Okay, that's kind of cool. I bet that game's probably worth some money now, actually. Anywho, too much distortion in the time stream at this end due to apocalypse. At the other, for light knows what reason, can't send bodies anymore. That's why it came down to me. Precedent in the family for time flying. Discorporate at departure. Transit in a state of pure energy. Trusting technology to hold my being coherent along the way. Reintegrate on arrival. Sounds so neat, so simple, so easy. Just like death and resurrection. Only I'm not as lucky as some who went before me. I don't end up alive in any organic sense. I'm energy still, cast for convenience in the shape of the woman I was. Held together pretty much by force of will. Even stubborn as I am, that'll only take me so far. Enough, though, I figured, to do the job. Didn't count on screwing up right off and making matters worse. So anyways, Askani is, like a time jumper, but she's not a living being anymore. She's just like this electromagnetic essence of the being. Now she's jumped again, and she's jumped into some destroyed society. This is maybe back to her society, I don't know. And they're going to go to the moon and fight Apocalypse, which is kind of weird because it was on the moon where they fought Strife and killed Strife in the Executioner song. And this is from before the Executioner song. So yeah, everybody likes a moon palace, and like Owatu's up there just hanging out, the Watcher. And nobody gives a crap what he's doing. Like, he doesn't even care. Like, he's not even paying attention. He just is chilling in his pleasure palace doing his thing. Ooh, The Rocketeer. That is still a good movie. Some people don't like it. And I think adults didn't care for it. I thought it was great. It's kind of like Hook, where, it got to my generation and the generations after me, but the generation before me was just like, what is this trash? They didn't get it. They don't understand. So they're still in the baby. Here's the baby. The baby. My most dread lord Apocalypse. The infant resists us. This is a revelation to you, scientist. I am anathema to every fiber of both his being and character. He may not yet possess the words with which to label such feelings, but he knows full well I am his enemy. His obliteration guarantees my ultimate preeminence, as does his survival quite possibly my ultimate undoing, which is why, though I would prefer suborning him to my cause, I deem it best to put an end to the brat. It's gonna kill the baby. And in what more fitting manner than by absorbing his life essence into my own? Master, a large force of Inhumans has amassed outside the fortress. They appear to be marshalling for an attack. Is that so? And how, pray tell, can that be when we supposedly have their entire population under lock and key? Okay, troops, let's move. And they can fight, and they can fight and fight. Let's get back to that baby. Where's that baby at? Let's find that baby. Scott wants to save his baby. He's all about saving his baby, but he was sure quick to sacrifice his baby, wasn't he? Well, we'll talk about that more here soon. Clyde Drexler, that's my dog. Oh, to be concluded. Cool. Okay, so don't even worry about the baby. How about that? Get through this quick. I like it. Oh, Isaiah Thomas, yes. Shoot it out with Patrick Ewing, not with his crappy jump shot. Match free throws with Chris Mullen. Okay, almost there, kids. X Factor 68, Bitter Sacrifice. This is it. This is an important moment in our friend Cable's life. And we're going to get into it right here, right now. The moon. You've had your fun, X Factor, your final fleeting moment of glory. Now it's time for you all to die. Yeah, right, sure. So, what else is new? What? Oh, do I read Iceman like Cena Grace writes him? Even though Cena Grace didn't write this? Yeah, right, sure. So what else is new? Like, better you've tried, Buster, but we're still here and still fighting. Your bravado, Iceman, is most admirable. A truly fitting epitaph for both you and your compeers. Unfortunately, your fate, indeed, that of all the fabled 12, was sealed the moment you reached my citadel. An instrument of that ultimate obliteration is none other than the innocent you've come to rescue. Cyclops' infant son, Nathan Christopher. Not Nathan Christopher! So they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight. Oh, Cyberfrog. They're gonna fight. Okay, here we go. Yeah, he gets them all sucked into this tubes. They're like Neo in the Matrix. And they're talking and talking. The child, I will teach him, I will raise him. That's why I became... Oh, no, this is his... No, sorry. This is not Apocalypse's words. This is Cyclops' thoughts. That's why I became Cyclops and led first the X-Men and now X-Factor. I'm such a leader. It's so awesome. That's the lesson I learned from Professor X. I am awesome. What a great lesson to learn for a guy with laser beam eyes. That my reason for being, like my friends beside me, like all of those who came to Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters to learn under my tutelage because they needed a real coach, is to protect people like Nate from people like Apocalypse. Yeah, but you're not doing a good job of protecting the baby. And now they're out of the tubes. I don't know why they put them in the tubes. Man, this rift. So it's D&D with I don't know, space robots. Okay, I just remember seeing this a lot as a kid and just whatever. I never took the time to read it, I don't think. Apparently, you can get 30 different occupational character classes, including dragons, psychics, mutant animals, side-stalkers, cyberknights, juicers, borgs, glitter boys, techno-wizards, and many others. I want to be a glitter boy! Okay, so... Oh, Askani. So she comes like sneaking around here. A sentiment I suspect none present share, Butcher of Worlds. What a sight to behold, the Chosen's family in action. To me and mine, they are but legends. Images scattered across broken shards of racial memory. The stuff of bedtime sleepy stories. What? To me and mine, they are but legends. Images scattered across broken shards of racial memory? The stuff of bedtime sleepy stories. Okay. These are flesh and blood, as real as once I was. If only our rec scans of this era, of this moment, were more precise. Is this the path of history that leads to the Armageddon that condemns my future? A different one that leads to the same result? Or prayerfully, blessedly one that wipes it all away? So much to weigh in the balance. So little on which to base my decision. I have too little energy left. I cannot afford a mistake. I am the last hope of my age. The sacrifice of my people and myself must not be wasted. Okay. Those two, what are they doing? The chosen crochet. It is death to whomever touches it. Spirits of light, grant me substance enough to throw him clear. And like Beast tries to touch it and save the baby, and like she just like appears out of it, I guess, and like pushes him away, and he's, oh, my stars and garters. Who the blazes? Nomenclature, Askani. Task trade, warrior. My physicality undergoing terminal discorporation. The death device is inert. You may safely remove the chosen one. But hurry, kinsman, lest Apocalypse somehow do him further harm. Apocalypse, is gonna fight it out. So they save the baby, but the techno-organic virus is taking over poor little Nathan Christopher Summers, and he doesn't know what to do, and Jean Cyclops with him, and the baby takes over her mind and turns it, this is the little ex-baby's world. This is his imagination, his mind. Oh my, neat little trick, kiddo, yanking me out of my head and into yours. So much raw power, but untaught and unfocused. More than enough. I'll bet to counteract the cancer. I'll bet to counteract. What the fudge? So, I don't know who's to blame for this. I'm going to go ahead and say that it's all of the above. Chris Claremont as on the script, Michael Heisler on the letters, and Bob Harris is the editor. And so I'm going to try to read this again. But I noticed these are filled with too many commas. Neat little trick, kiddo, yanking me out of my head and into yours. So much raw power, but untaught and unfocused. More than enough, I'll bet, to counteract the cancer that's destroying your cells. Is that why you brought me here? To link with you? My knowledge, your strength? And accomplish a psionic healing you can't handle on your own? Is that why I'm dressed as some sort of fairy tale warrior? She does look super cool. Will Portasio drew this, and Wilson Jim Lee plotted it. So there's, this really cool fight, and our boy Cyclops shows up and stabs, the magic dream Apocalypse with a sword. And Scott's just going to hit him with the full optic blast, and does, and look at these crappy shirts you used to be able to get from Marvel. I don't know a kid who wants to own this t-shirt right here. This is the worst Weapon X drawing that was ever made, in my opinion. No offense, Barry Windsor Smith. I'm just not a fan. So anyways, they save the baby, and the techno-organic virus is spreading. And they don't know how to stop it. And Scott all of a sudden realizes, Ascani! Save him, you said. That was why you were sent here. From where? By whom? Beyond. A place where he will be cherished, because he is oh so desperately needed. I need to know more. Forgive me, kinsman, but if those words are not believed, why should any other? And if accepted as truth, what more is necessary? He's my son! No less, no more, now than when you called out to me. You keep saying kinsman. We share the same birth world. My line, as yours, claims the heritage of Homo sapiens. In that small sense, we are all family. When he's cured, you'll bring him back? No. What? He's still in the baby from this stupid daikini. The energies required to establish and maintain such a portal are beyond the capability of all save one, and I am she. If you and he embrace this path of destiny, Cyclops, he will be lost to you forever, and I can't help wondering if that wouldn't be the kindler, generous fate. Cyclops, Nathan's biological status is near termination. This is the robot talking, the ship machine thing that's talking. And if I don't, he'll be dead. From the sound of it, so is ships, and Apocalypse's laughter sounds a little louder. Moreover, Askani's corporate nature is verging on a radical destabilization. If a positive decision is to be made, it must be now. I just don't like your writing, Chris Claremont. You are too wordy. There's so much I want to say. You already said enough, bro. Give the baby away. And I remember the night in Alaska when I told Madeline I was a mutant, and our flight to Bora Bora, and how I felt when she told me about the baby, and later when I held him the first time. The bad times are there too, but they aren't important. It's the joy that sparkles in my mind, and in his as well. He's sad, is my little son, the bravest of us all. God, terrible dialogue. But he isn't afraid, because he knows this is right. So I let him go. They take the babies. The celebration begins almost immediately. I don't join in. Neither does one other. I find her on a balcony, gazing up at the full earth overhead. See, they're still on the moon. There's Earth. Some sight and a half, Ain't nobody gonna believe this. Blazes, folks probably think I'm dead, blowing up along with X-Factor in your ship. I'm sorry for your boy, Cyclops. I pray you did the right thing. I'll never know, so I guess there's nothing for it but to assume the best. So, here we have Rachel Summers, Madeline Pryor's daughter. There's just too many Summers in this. And she wasn't in this at all. Why is she all of a sudden on the balcony on the moon? It comes so easily for you, life, death, dancing across space and time. You're wrong, Sergeant. It hurts. It always will. More than I can put words to. But the dream that bound us all together, X-Factor, and before us the X-Men, was based on hope. And the laughter inside my skull is silent. The ghost, maybe all the ghosts, put finally to rest. I don't think so, though. I think we're just getting started here. And there he is, finally. I am called the Watcher. It is my charge to observe what transpires in this corner of the cosmos, on and about this orb called by its inhabitants, Earth. Blah, 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 blah. So, now we have seen in detail exactly how little, sweet, innocent Nathan Christopher Summers gets sent 2,000 years into the future. What lies next for us is the question, is it not, my friends? What lies next? Allow me to show you. I will give you one little hint of the next video we're going to go to later on today. Cable, Fathers and Sons, Part 1. Up next on Testosterone Overload's journey through the incredible origin of Cable.